My rich second-generation brother transferred a huge sum of money to me and asked me to pursue his sister, Liu Ryan. I flattered her from head to toe for 60 days and finally moved her, agreeing to my pursuit. In the second month of our relationship, I received the huge sum from my brother and was sitting on the curb eating skewers, my mind full of thoughts on how to safely escape and run away, when I received a breakup text from Liu Ryan. Excitedly, I threw away the skewer in my hand and rushed straight to her house. I saw her room full of friends having a blast. I put on my best dramatic act, pretending to be instantly consumed by rage. I demanded to know why she wanted to break up. Then I slammed my head against the door, shattering the glass instantly. Blood trickled down my hair. Anyone who saw it would say, "What a true simp." Liu Ryan swirled her champagne glass. Her tone was cold. She didn't want to talk anymore. She wanted to break up. But baby, I can't live without you. She looked up. 2 months and you're already so deeply in love. Tears welled up in my eyes. You still say you don't love me, yet you remember our time together so clearly. She scratched her head, her lips pressed into a thin line. Then she grabbed her phone and started fiddling with it. Half-minute game. 5 million breakup fee was transferred to my Alipay account. Then a can of Wings Eye milk was placed on the coffee table in front of me. Drink this can of milk. And forget about me, this guy. I covered my mouth. In disbelief, I looked at my phone, then looked at Liu Ryan again. Do you really see me as that shallow? Tears welled up in my eyes. Propped herself up and stood. The body exhausted from crying too hard, shaking uncontrollably. Since President Liu is so heartless, I won't force it anymore. I wish you happiness. I ran out without looking back. Before I could get out, I heard someone behind me say, "No way." Like smoke. You don't even want such a devoted admirer. What exactly are you looking for? A friendship worth 1,000 gold pieces, like smoke. Not a friendship with a girl. Then in the next second, a cold voice from Liu Ryan came through. How about I ask for the money back, and you talk to him? I ran even faster after that. The night in late autumn was slightly chilly. I was drenched in sweat from running, but didn't feel cold, sitting by the roadside, gasping for breath, when my brother and close friend Liu Aiken called. "Gu Ryan, did you really break up with Liu Ryan?" I told him with a sob in my voice. "Yes, we really broke up. Give me your address. I'll be there in 10 minutes. When Liu Aiken arrived, he hugged me and gently comforted me, cursing Liu Ryan as a bastard. She's a scumbag. I looked at the half-finished can of Wings Eye milk in my hand. He took it and set it aside. If my sister isn't obedient, then goodbye. There's always a next one. Don't be sad. You look like you're about to break. I sniffled and pushed him away. Let him settle the final payment for me. Big brother, no way. Pretending, I stood up and patted the dust off my pants. Pretending what? I'm acting. Liu Aiken and I are college friends. 2 months ago, he asked me if I could pursue his sister. A 3-month-long relationship. A kickback of 5 million. Just because their grandmother is at home urging them to get married. If they can't find a partner within 3 months, their cards will be suspended and they'll have to go on blind dates. Bro, I'm waiting for my study abroad offer. Once I go abroad, no one can control me. I beg you to handle Liu Ryan during this period. Help me divert attention. But the eldest daughter of the Liu family is notoriously difficult to deal with. The level of difficulty can be rated 10 stars. I can only say I'll give it a try. After all, you know your sister's character better than I do. I persistently chased her for 2 weeks, but couldn't even get her to add me on WeChat. Just when I was about to give up, I didn't expect that the young lady would agree. We were never meant to be together. It's all thanks to her brother spending money. A forced relationship may not be sweet, but it makes money. Whether I keep my dignity or not doesn't really matter. Alipay received 1 million yuan. I asked him why it was 1 million short. He said since I ended it early, this is all he could give. Looking at the current balance on my phone, I generously didn't argue with him. That's why they say you should date a rich second generation. When they have money, they really give it. Bro, I'm heading out first. If anything comes up, go find your sister. This time, it was Liu Aiken crying in the back. Now we're rich too. We should live a life of luxury and indulgence. That day, I was sitting in the VIP section of a tea restaurant, drinking tea, enjoying the VIP service. In the past, this was something a boy from a mountain village like me could never have imagined. Would the world end if there was one more rich person like me? Before I could stand up, I saw Ryan's current rumored boyfriend, Makoto Ito. He was walking towards me aggressively. Are you Sister Ryan's ex? Look at you, dressed like a country bumpkin. She is worthy of being called Sister Ryan. Hey, I'm not worthy. I can take him on 800 round trips with turns. But you're dressed so effeminately. Can you go back and take a good look in the mirror? Anyway, the money has already been transferred. I don't care who he is. I'll treat everyone equally. Ito's face turned red with anger. The floor echoed with the sound of kicking. I stood up proudly. Just as I was about to leave, I saw Ryan standing behind me. She crossed her arms over her chest, tilted her head and looked at me. Gu Wuyin, you've really grown capable, haven't you? Then a sound like a boiling kettle erupted from it castle. Sister Ryan, he said with a raise of my eyebrows like Liu Ruyin. I could handle 800 rounds with twists and turns. At this moment, Ito Cheng came over, ready to link arms with her. But she dodged swiftly. You dress like a freak. Just stop embarrassing yourself. Ito Chung beside them had tears in his eyes. Gu Wuyin is talking nonsense. He has no manners. Liu Ryan slowly spoke up. Are you saying that I also lack manners? As the saying goes, a wise man knows when to retreat. I took a step back and sincerely said, then I won't disturb your date any longer. I'll take my leave. Before I could walk away, Makoto Ito started gloating behind me. Sister Ryan, haven't you seen Gu Wuyin's Douyin account yet? I paused in my steps. A sudden jolt in the heart. This damned weirdo has a knack for digging into gossip. Don't excavate the terracotta warriors. How could you dig into someone else's privacy? The things up there are not for the faint of heart. I turned my head, with a smile on her face. I don't play that Douyin stuff. Mr. Yi, don't talk nonsense. He shook his phone. I glanced at it and saw the homepage of that despicable old dog Liu Ryan. It's over. It's full of unspeakable things. Next to him, Liu Ryan coldly told him to turn it off. I have to admit, my ex does know how to care for people. But Yi Chung is determined to embarrass me. So my posts were read out one by one. What brand of plastic bag is she using? Why is it so wasteful? Going to slaughter pigs. Chasing Liu Ryan in this lifetime. Still have to write a self-criticism. She's worth 9 figures. Yet she made me go to the south of the city to buy cheap beans for 60 cents. Is she crazy? My head is about to explode because of her. Break up, taking the money, running away, meeting. Little cutie, watching her face flush red and then pale. I felt a chill down my spine. I think I'll head back first. It seems like the dog at home ran away on a bicycle. With that, I dashed out the door. If I don't run now, I'm done for. Eating fruit and watching shows in the spacious apartment. The phone kept ringing incessantly. I could tell without even thinking that it was Liu Ryan cursing. Suddenly, a video call came in. It was Liu Aiken. Brother, you are my only brother. Can you stall Liu Ryan for another month? I sat up in shock from my dying illness. Why? It turned out his grandmother remembered it again. Liu Ryan, with a mischievous grin, said she had broken up. Grandma's attention shifted back to him. Look at this mess. You still need to handle the after-sales service. I'll transfer the money to your account. Good luck. No! Sigh. Number. An hour ago. I just pissed off Liu Ryan. How am I supposed to handle this? Looking at the newly arrived bank transfer notification. This money is as good as earned, but impossible to spend. I was pulling my hair in frustration. The doorbell rang, seeing Liu Ryan's stormy face on the monitor. For the first time, I felt like I had jumped from the proletariat to the bourgeoisie. The bourgeoisie is indeed fast approaching. The foundation is unstable. It is bound to collapse. Can't I just not take this money? Don't you want a PhD from overseas as a good brother? When I get rich, could I ever forget you? When you take someone's hand, you owe them. Outside, a familiar and angry voice sounded again. Gu Yuanshu opened the door. With a determined heart, I slapped my thigh hard. With tears in my eyes, I opened the door for him. I am very aware of my pretty boy image. He shouldn't be too rough. I cleared my throat nervously. Baby, why are you here? Liu Ryan looked at me. I came to see your cat. He chuckled and walked past me directly into the house. Feeling guilty, I followed behind him. My mind was filled with thoughts of how to negotiate another month with him. Baby, can I explain those things on Douyin to you? Liu Ryan sat on the sofa, crossing her legs. Tell me, why am I a grumpy mutt and a hard-to-please donkey? It looks like he has turned my Douyin account upside down. With reddened eyes, I sat beside him. Baby, these are all nicknames I secretly gave you. Little Orange was afraid you wouldn't be happy. So he cleared his throat and lifted his eyelids. So in your heart, I'm just a mutt and a donkey. Yi Liu's beautiful eyes are filled with Shaoyi. I lowered my gaze slightly. In a soft voice, I said, you have no idea how much it hurt to see you with Itu Orange today. How much pain and heartbreak I felt. In the days we've been apart, I couldn't even believe I was going to lose you. I really want to be back by your side, my love. Let's make up. At this moment, my face is flushed red. My shoulders shook with sobs. Indeed, people need to exercise. My acting skills are now flawless. But clearly, the people around me don't buy it. Liu Ryan rubbed her face. Tell me, how much did Liu Aiken give you this time? Baby, how can we measure our feelings with money? He curled his lips. Haven't you always measured it this way? Well, indeed. He got up abruptly. My money and Liu Aiken's money can only be taken by one person. Think it over carefully. Watching Liu Ryan leave, a nameless rage surged to the top of my head. I must find Liu Aiken. I really can't do this job anymore. Brother, don't you understand what my sister means? Isn't this giving you a way out? I thought it over carefully. It seems to be the case. And with the economy being so bad now, where can I find a job that pays $1 million a month? I picked up my phone, immediately sent a message to Liu Ryan, baby. How about I bring you breakfast tomorrow? Half an hour later, she replied with a single word, The next morning at 6 a.m., I stood outside Liu Ryan's villa, frantically pressing the doorbell. Baby, don't sleep anymore. I've brought breakfast. 20 minutes later, the door opened and Liu Ryan's face was clouded with anger. Are you out of your mind? I am indeed out of my mind. If it weren't for my obsession with money, I wouldn't be getting up at 5 a.m. to buy you breakfast. He adjusted his pajamas and saw me fiddling with the baby at the dining table. Come and try. Today, we have your favorite soup dumplings and soy milk. In the end, this task, Dad glanced at it and leisurely said he wanted Chen's century egg porridge. I clenched my fists, nodded and said okay, rushed out. Pedaling a shared bike through the thick fog straight to Jiang's on the east side of the city. I really didn't expect I'd have to play this simping role twice. I came back drenched in sweat, carrying the porridge. Liu Ryan was leisurely drinking century egg porridge while watching a movie. Remember to be faster next time. Alright, Liu Ryan. So that's how you want to play. I think she did it on purpose. Clean up everything. She changed her clothes and got ready to go to work. I followed behind her, eagerly offering to do her laundry. Did you forget you ruined 3 of my dresses last time? I remembered how the washing machine ruined 3 dresses worth hundreds of thousands last time. I feel a chill down my spine right now. But I'm a simp. Who am I afraid of? By the way, I've recently learned a few new home-cooked dishes. How about I bring you lunch? I noticed his tie was a bit crooked. I leaned in to help him straighten it. When I looked up, I realized he was staring at me. We were too close. The atmosphere was slightly ambiguous. I was just about to leave, but Liu Ryan grabbed me. If you make something like mango stir-fried spinach again, I swear I'll send you to the moon. Don't worry, darling. Absolutely not. Watching him walk away, I touched my burning face. I never thought that after watching him for 2 months, I still couldn't get used to such a close-up beauty attack. When I first started pursuing Liu Ryan, I ended up sending him to the hospital over a single meal. Liu Aiken stood outside, looking at him on the hospital bed. Brother, if you need money, that's fine, but don't risk your life. The next day, he drank the goji berry soup I gave him and had to be sent for a stomach pump again. Liu Ryan looked at me weakly, gritting her teeth and said, Gu Wuyan, if I don't agree, are you planning to kill me directly? I didn't have time to explain. Before his assistant kicked me out of the ward, there was even a note on the door saying no entry for dogs and Gu Wuyan. Even Liu Ryan's friend said, I'm really afraid he'll die at your hands. I carried the meal to his office. Behind the desk, Liu Ryan, dressed in professional attire, frowned. I carefully placed the lunchbox on the table and then went to the pantry to make him a cup of tea. I stood to the side with my hands clasped, sweetly telling him that lunch was ready. Before he could respond, Makoto Ito walked in. Sister Ryan, let's go out for lunch today. What the heck are you doing here? Do you think I want to be here? He shoved me aside, walked up to Liu Ryan and said, Don't get tangled up with a simp. Damn, I hate pretentious people the most. I'm a simp. None of your damn business. Unwilling to show weakness, I went straight over and hugged Liu Ryan. Honey, say something. Where are we having lunch today? He had a fit of coughing, then whispered to me not to shout, a smirk forming at the corner of his mouth as he looked at Ito Castle. Even being a sycophant has its standards, and you don't even qualify as one. Did you hear that? You don't even qualify as a sycophant. But why does that sound so awkward? Ito Castle clenched his fists in anger, turned around and left. Liu Ryan looked at the food in the lunchbox, picked up the internal phone. Secretary Lin, my accidental death insurance hasn't expired, right? Liu Ryan, you're really sophisticated when you curse now. He leisurely ate his meal, glanced at me. The food has also been delivered. Wait for me to take you back. Then I'll leave. Someone is in love. Someone watched the sea at night. Some people are sycophants, waking up at 5 a.m. to buy groceries, then lying on my big sofa and fiercely practicing a set of air military exercises. It's obvious that the second round with Liu Ryan is harder than the first. It also made clear the saying that money is hard to earn and shit is hard to eat. At 5 p.m., I received a call from Liu Ryan's secretary. Mr. Gu, the boss said there's a banquet and he wants to take you along. Let me take you to try it out. Even clothes can take me there. I guess it's not something important. By the time I got home after trying on clothes, it was already 9 p.m. I glanced at my phone. I collapsed powerlessly onto the bed. Whose loyal follower has such long standby time? But I dutifully picked up my phone. I sent a message to Liu Ryan, baby. See you tomorrow. I didn't wait for his reply. I fell asleep directly. It was still 6 a.m. I stood punctually outside Liu Ryan's house. I never thought I would work so hard for a woman in my life. If I had this determination back in school, I might have gotten into Tsinghua University. Before I could even call out, the door opened automatically. Seeing the sleepy-eyed Liu Ryan, my eyes sparkled with stars. Baby, you're really so considerate. Are you waiting for me? I'm waiting for breakfast. I put the 8 kinds of breakfast I prepared on the table. I don't believe he can still make me go out and buy it today. The strange thing is, not only did he not make a fuss today, he even invited me to have breakfast together. This doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. Baby, is today ... I'm in a good mood. Opposite me, Liu Ryan was leisurely eating breakfast. She didn't speak, her face completely expressionless. Whatever, the thoughts of a young lady are not something we mere sycophants can easily understand. Tomorrow night, you're coming with me to the banquet. I even signed you up to perform on stage. Theft, I spit a mouthful of soy milk onto her face. Perform on stage? I knew Liu Ryan was up to no good. She's definitely getting back at me. After all, my rant about her on Douyin has already spread. She lost face. Of course, she wants to regain it from me. Cunningly, she made me go up and perform. Well, I didn't expect Mr. Liu to have such a unique way of reclaiming face. In the banquet hall of the Emperor Hotel, lights were swirling. Glass is clinking. But I had no mood to enjoy any of it. After all, I still have to go on stage to perform in a while. In front of the buffet table, I devoured 3 pieces of red velvet cake and downed a glass of champagne. I can't help it, I always cleverly turn stress into appetite. Just as I was enjoying my feast, I looked up and saw Ito Castle walking towards me. He was dressed in a pink suit, and his few strands of hair were dyed green. Elegant, truly elegant. After he approached, seeing me eating, he let out a pig-like squeal again. Gu Wuyan, what are you doing here? You should ask Liu Ryan. Why am I here? Seeing me not speaking, he grabbed my hand. The cake in my hand smashed directly onto his foot. Then there was another scream. Is this a place where someone like you can show up? Get out right now. Life is truly dull and tasteless. The toad comments on humans. I wiped the corner of my mouth. Her eyebrows arched up. I came here with your sister Ryan. This suit I'm wearing was also a gift from him. The person across was so angry they were hopping mad. And you, stop showing off like a peacock and being so self-absorbed. Sister Liu Ryan and I have made up. He personally came to my house to beg me. You can call me brother now. Ito was completely defenseless. His face twisted with anger. I was feeling triumphant. Then I heard the host announce, Mr. Gu, please come on stage for an exclusive dance performance. I was really stunned. I didn't expect Liu Ryan to be serious. Now, I don't know whether to stay or leave. Ito looked at me with a gloating expression. Could it be that they're looking for you to perform in a play? Why wouldn't you want such a lucky opportunity? I thought of my idol. Kun took off his suit and put on suspenders. He ran up and started an impromptu performance. He began singing, dancing, and rapping right away. It was too beautiful on my phone. Now the whole place was filled with cheers and excitement. Everyone was captivated by my performance. Seeing this, Makoto Ito grabbed me. He was about to drag me out, but suddenly let go of his hand, putting on a pitiful face. Sister Ryan, aren't you going to do something about him? I didn't know when. Liu Ryan was standing behind me. He had a half smile on his face. I beg you to make peace. I turned around, forcing a smile as I looked at Liu Ryan. Just kidding. Don't you know me by now? I only dared to say such outrageous things behind your back. I couldn't read Liu Ryan's emotions. I could only continue my humble, sycophantic remarks. I really don't know when this will end. Ito Makoto wrinkled his nose and pointed at me, telling me to get up quickly. He's my man. What right do you have to let him go? Racking my brains to think of something a simp would say. Liu Ryan said as she placed a piece of black forest cake in my hand. Eat up before you go home. Sister Ryan, do you not like me? Is it because of him? If there's something I'm not doing well, I can change. Can you please not fall in love with someone else? I stared at him blankly. then looked at him again. My mouth opened and closed. Closed and remained indifferent. It's already 2024. Watch fewer Kion Yao dramas. By Tengcheng probably got agitated and turned to run away. I thought Liu Ryan would chase after him and bring him back. But unexpectedly, he leaned against the table with a wine glass, watching me. Gu Wuyan danced really well. On the way back, the car was very quiet. My mind was filled with Ito Makoto saying I wasn't worthy of Liu Ryan. He wasn't wrong. We really are people from two different classes. Besides, Ito Makoto is Liu Ryan's childhood friend. If anyone's an intruder, it really seems to be me. Just then, the car lights flashed outside. Liu Ryan's brooch glinted sharply in my eyes. I looked over. Isn't this the thing I got for him from Pinjuo Duo? I have to say, this glass item really does look almost as good as a diamond. Oh right, he's wearing the 9.9 yuan brooch I got him. Seeing me lost in thought, he asked why I was staring at him. Haha, I was just admiring how shiny your brooch is. Didn't expect it to be something I bought, huh? You should buy more in bulk from Pinjuo Duo, sell it to my friends, and still make a profit. I forced a smile. After all, it didn't sound like a good thing to say. We didn't talk the whole way. Until I was almost home, he suddenly said this brooch is still quite beautiful. They say a woman's heart is like a needle at the bottom of the sea. I think Liu Ryan's heart is even more elusive. Before I could react, she kicked me out of the car. I slumped on the couch when I got home. The more I thought about it, the more annoyed I became. After all, I have a master's degree from a top university. Do I really have to earn this money? I took out my phone and sent a WeChat message to Liu Aiken. I told him I really couldn't do this job anymore. Without waiting for his reply, I opened Douyin and updated my status again. Which pond did this jerk crawl out of anyway? Why are there so many problems? Only an idiot would be his sycophant. Half an hour later, I received another transfer from Liu Aiken. Is it enough? I can't help it. He really gives too much. After freshening up, I checked my phone. Liu Ryan sent a message. I also want to know which pond I'm the king of. I quickly sent a picture of a turtle to explain. I'm not talking about him. Liu Ryan said with a smile. Weren't you just threatening to smash my head? If you can't reach my house within 30 minutes, you'll regret your arrogance. He caught me red-handed. I was so angry my head was buzzing. I remember posting that as a private status on Douyin. How could he see it? Switch to the Douyin interface. I just realized, not only was it not private, but someone stole the traffic and pushed it to the public square. I really have to thank this kind-hearted person. I arrived at Liu Ryan's villa feeling uneasy. I kept cheering myself on. What I might face next could be a storm. The same old trick. I pinched my thigh hard. With reddened eyes, I opened the door to his house. Seeing Liu Ryan sitting on the sofa, I knew tonight wouldn't be simple. Hey baby, was that really not you on that video? Were you cursing at the little turtle I keep? Only a floor lamp was lit in the room. In the dim light, his face was indistinguishable. He crossed his legs. The black shirt had its top to buttons undone. 360, the little bear faintly visible. It looks filled with an air of abstinence. Then I'm not enough. We still need to buy data to get trending, right? I want to know who gave me the traffic. I have to beat him to death. Seeing his expressionless face, I felt even more uncertain. And then there was today at the party. I just wanted to annoy E2 Castle. He always shows off. She provokes me just because she's your childhood friend. You know it. I can't live without you. The person on the sofa listened quietly, a small smile curling at the corner of her mouth. But it disappeared quickly. I doubted my own eyes a bit. I had just sat down. In a moment of inattention, he sat on my lap, her hands wrapped around my neck. Out of instinctive reaction, I held her waist with both hands. The posture seems quite ambiguous. My face suddenly burned with embarrassment. Didn't you say you couldn't live without me? Then let me see how much you can't live without Liu are you. Yan's beautiful eyes were wanton in front of me. For a moment, I had the illusion that we were a real couple. Dim yellow light. Ambiguous posture. Liu Ryan slowly approached me. Admit that beauty can cloud judgment, so to avoid making mistakes, I quickly covered my mouth. That's a different price altogether. Liu Ryan raised an eyebrow. She took my hand away and asked, "How much is that?" Before I could speak, my mouth was sealed by warm lips. My mind went blank in an instant. It crashed directly. Those warm hands held me tightly. Unable to move, I widened my eyes, staring blankly at the person in front of me. Liu Ryan let out a light laugh. Whispered plea, a kiss with closed eyes, and it ends. I buried myself directly in his arms, not daring to lift my head. Today, it feels like I've made a losing deal. 3 seconds too late. I sprang up and left first. It seems my cat has run off on a bike again. After that day, Liu Ryan and I officially started talking again. In Liu Ryan's office, what should we do about E2 Castle? Liu Ryan, who was working, adjusted her glasses. Do you mean the three of us should talk together? That's not exactly what I meant. He embraced me. The air was filled with a faint hint of Hilton perfume. If you're going to date, then date seriously. I looked down at him. I remembered that passionate kiss from last night. Before I could react, he kissed me again. Elder sister, it's daytime now. Still in the office, feeling a mixture of fear and trepidation, the door was knocked on. Liu, I can come in. What mischief are you up to? Why is your face so red? Liu Ryan didn't even let go of her hand. She directly asked him what he was doing here. Grandma asked me to bring you food. Do you think I wanted to come? He placed the lunchbox on the table. He looked at me with a mischievous grin. A sense of shame surged in my heart. I pulled him outside. Such a grown-up. How can you still be so embarrassed about a kiss? You didn't tell me back then. We had to make it look real. My sister isn't bad either. You haven't really lost out. If you really become my brother-in-law, we'll be even closer family. Really, thank you. I asked him again how his study abroad plans were going. He said they were almost finalized. You and my sister should live well together. I'll come back to attend your wedding banquet. I scratched my head. You shouldn't say things like that carelessly. As soon as the time comes, I'll have to part with him. I still have my own life plans. Things won't go so smoothly between us. After all, there's still Makoto Ito. Liu Aiken nodded thoughtfully. When I got home that evening, I couldn't stop thinking about how Liu Ryan kissed me. I felt a bit confused. I shook my head hard. I need to stay awake. These young ladies usually fall for someone at first sight. I admit that I do have some good looks, but I am also very clear about my position. What if I fall in? Getting dumped again would be too embarrassing. The more I think, the clearer I become. I sat in the bathtub fiddling around for a while. Put on the overalls. Bring the basketball. Tonight, I'm going to be the coolest guy in the bar. Now, she could be considered a country woman. Today, I must have the pretty ladies cheer me up. Foreign liquor and fruit platters were brought in one after another. I've already had a big glass of wine. Yet, the young ladies still haven't shown up. As a result, when I turned around, I saw Liu Ryan's face full of black lines. Right now, there's only one thing on my mind, having a bit of money. Proud and arrogant. Switch to female mode. Life and death are unpredictable. Baby, why are you here? Come see how old the girl you picked is. One size bigger than mine. Is it better than mine? Ha, I knew it. One must not be too complacent. I was dragged out of the bar by Liu Ryan, tied up with black silk. He directly threw me into the back seat of the Rolls Royce. Baby, don't be mad. I just came to check out the environment. I think it's average. I wouldn't really recommend it. It's obvious that Liu Ryan is not satisfied. Coldly, 2 words popped out, drive. But the car wasn't heading towards his place. Nor was it going to my place. No way. My mind started replaying scenes from medical examiner Dr. Chin. The car came to a stop. The seaside became even more terrifying. After getting out of the car, he tightened the suit jacket around me. Why did we come to the seaside? Didn't you want to see the fireworks by the sea? Tonight, you'll see plenty. Liu Ryan nodded to the assistant beside her. 3 seconds later, fireworks began to bloom in the sky. Magnificent and splendid. Truly beautiful. How did you know I wanted to see this? I saw you like that video. My heart feels like it's been hit by a puff of cotton. The moonlight tonight is also beautiful. I turned around and embraced Liu Ryan. Thank you, I really like it. From above came a haughty question. Are the fireworks prettier or is the demon lady prettier? Isn't this just a giveaway? Of course, baby, you're the prettiest. I said, my hands constantly exploring her waist, searching for the little bear I couldn't find earlier tonight despite spending money. Then just open his aisle. Touching the little bear comes at a different price. The boomerang spins lethally. Time flies quickly. Liu Aikun's study abroad offer has already arrived. I asked her out for a meal to celebrate. She asked me how I've been getting along with my sister lately. We haven't fought, have we? The chopsticks in my hand. These past 20 days. Liu Ryan seems like a completely different person now. Considerate and gentle. Always wanting to kiss me whenever she catches me. Taking me everywhere she goes. Sending luxury items to my house as if they cost nothing. It's hard for me to say that we don't get along well. Actually, my sister is pretty great. It would be wonderful if you could really become my brother-in-law. I dip the beef in the sesame sauce again and again. I can't say it out loud, but it seems like I'm a bit moved too. Oh right, my aunt's birthday is this weekend. She's having a banquet at the Haitian hotel. You love the drunken crabs there, don't you? I'll take you. I quickly waved my hand and said I wouldn't go. Meeting the family is too much, but Liu Aikun said his sister was on a business trip. I could just go as his friend. On the day of the birthday banquet, Liu Aikun and I arrived at the venue together. The city lights were just coming on. The place was a dazzling display of wealth and indulgence. This kind of setting was never meant for someone of my social class. From a distance, I saw Makoto Ito and his father. Both father and son were smiling gracefully and appropriately. I had a delightful conversation with the successful person across from me. For a moment, my heart felt like it was blocked. I don't know if it's jealousy of his prominent status. I still envy him for having his dad by his side. After delivering the gift to Auntie, I slipped into the corner. I really can't handle this kind of situation. Might as well just eat quietly. I was an abandoned baby, picked up and raised by my elderly grandmother. In my sophomore year of college, my grandmother passed away due to illness. I was completely alone. Fortunately, I had Liu Aikun's company along the way, so life wasn't too hard. I always knew she was a rich second generation, but facing the Liu family's status and wealth, today was the first time I admitted that I had feelings for Liu Ryan. Like a toad wanting to eat swan meat. Put down the cake. I went to the balcony to get some air, and happened to see Liu Ryan standing in the hall. Her expensive dress exuded an imposing aura, with a cold and aloof demeanor. It's a side of him I've never seen before. Tojo stood beside her in an elegant little suit. The two were chatting and laughing. They looked perfect together. I never expected this. To encounter such an old-fashioned romance plot. I quickly took out my phone, checked my bank account balance. Thank goodness. I'm not exactly rich. Considered well off. Skill levels vary. No need to worry about the latter half of life. I am a person of the new era, 2024. The most adaptable. Now the task is complete. Money in hand. It's time for me to retire with honor. If Edo City really blocks my door then, it would indeed be a bad reputation. I'm thinking about where to travel. My thoughts were interrupted by the effeminate voice behind me. Ito Castle stood behind me with his arms crossed. A pheasant flew into a phoenix's nest. Do you really think you're a phoenix? Laughing to death. You really think I care about being a phoenix? So are you a pheasant or a phoenix? Makoto Ito was suddenly choked up and started to get furious. I'm telling you, our families have already started discussing the marriage. In short, don't even think about marrying Liu Ryan. Oh my dear mother, my dancing. Come quickly and listen. What era is this? Still making such macho speeches. Alright, remember to invite me to Monxi on your wedding day. Will you bring a gift? Haha, of course I will. Such a familiar voice. I stiffly turned around and met Liu Ryan's beautiful face. Before I could even make an excuse, Liu Ryan grabbed me and started walking. Sure enough, when you're out and about, you have to be cautious with your words and actions. Look at me, I'm a perfect example. Baby, slow down a bit. I'm having trouble keeping up with you. The person in front suddenly stopped and turned around. I bumped right into his chest. Are you coming to my wedding with Ito Castle? How much are you planning to give as a gift? Was it just a joke? Don't be mad. Clearly, he was mad. The grip on my wrist tightened. What if I don't show up? Do you still have something to say? We will break up in a little while. Breaking up for a while is impossible, because I'm planning to break up tomorrow. Liu Ryan's face was unusually serious. I didn't dare to talk back, seeing that I wasn't speaking. She snuggled into my arms. From my embrace came her murmuring voice. Gu Wuyan, let's not part. Back home, I lay on the bed and started to think. The Liu family and our family have been friends for generations. A marriage alliance between the two families is inevitable. Then wouldn't I eventually become cannon fodder? But thinking of her earth-shattering reaction, I hesitated a bit, scratching my head. Like a carp, I sat up abruptly. Some things are better planned early. Matters of the heart. As I wandered the martial world, I looked at the message from Liu Ryan on WeChat. I chose selective blindness. The next day, I boarded a plane to Switzerland. Looking at the huge billboard of the Liu family at the airport, I turned my head away. This world is too big. I still went out to take a look. It was the 5th day in Switzerland. I received a call from Liu Icon. Bro, do you know where my sister went? No idea. I'm in Switzerland now. I've already broken up with her. There was a low gasp on the other end of the phone. Then a soft mutter. My sister seems to be angry. I kicked the fallen leaves under my feet. Your sister is probably just saving face. It'll be fine in a few days. Before I could finish speaking, a loud drumbeat sounded from behind me. Without a word, I suddenly turned around. Liu Ryan was standing right behind me, less than 50 meters away. Hey, brother, I found your sister. She's right behind me. I hung up the phone. Liu Ryan was storming towards me, and for a moment, I actually looked forward to getting punched by her. Pulling a disappearing act, huh? You thought I wouldn't catch you. I awkwardly rubbed my hands together. So why could he come over to hang out? Playing hard to get, right? You bought the plane ticket with my card. Carelessly, I saw you not saying a word. Liu Ryan pressed me. Explain yourself. Why did you leave so suddenly? I was thinking about Ito Castle. His family and your family are discussing the marriage. It would be impolite for me to interfere. Liu Ryan nodded helplessly, frustrated by the situation. Who are they discussing the marriage with? Even my grandmother didn't agree to this. But you agreed first. There's no way between me and Ito Castle. And my grandmother knows about you too. I was thinking of taking you back to meet her. I didn't expect you to run away. I widened my eyes and looked at him. A look of disbelief on my face. Boss, stop joking. I have no intention of climbing up to your family. Then do you like me? I was choked by this question. Can I say I like you? I looked up at him. His eyes were full of anticipation. But one must have self-awareness. We are not from the same social class. I was cut off before I could finish speaking. Gu Wuyan, I like you. Please date me. And so Liu Ryan and I began a shameless life together. In this side story, Liu Ryan only knew that Gu Wuyan was her brother's classmate, but didn't know that he was pursuing her to help her brother complete a prank. Under Gu Wuyan's intense pursuit, she ended up in the hospital several times. She even had her stomach pumped once. All her friends said if it really doesn't work out, just agree to this little mutt. After all, you only have one life. So Liu Ryan agreed. Later, the little mutt volunteered. He said he wanted to take care of her daily needs. And so he ruined 3 of her haute couture dresses, wore out 2 pairs of handmade leather shoes, broke 2 antique vases, and incidentally killed a money tree. I don't know if it's genuine or intentional, but his appearance did add some fun to his dull life. He enjoyed bantering with this little mutt, loved seeing him gnash his teeth in anger yet not dare to retaliate. He liked money, so he gave him lots of money. Then Gu Wuyan would give him a return gift, like a 9.9 brooch, an 18.8 tie, and so on. Liu Ryan's friends asked him if he had really fallen for Gu Wuyan. He smiled and said he didn't know. Maybe he really fell in love. Otherwise, why would he be happy just seeing him? Until one day, Liu Ryan overheard her brother talking to him on the phone. It turned out that the deep affection of this little mutt was all an act. Not long after, she saw his outrageous Douyin posts. Liu Ryan felt inexplicably emotional. She didn't know if she was more angry or more disappointed. She thought she must teach this little rascal a lesson. He found Liu a Gu. He told him that bringing Gu Wuyan back couldn't be delayed any longer. Soon, Gu Wuyan came looking for him again. With a cheeky smile, he came closer to say nice things. Liu Ryan's heart was racing. She still had to act aloof. The 2 of them once again started their game of pursuit and being pursued. But on that night by the seaside, watching the fireworks, Gu Wuyan hugged her and thanked her. The suppressed feelings finally couldn't be contained anymore. Maybe it was because of Gu Wuyan's sweet words. Maybe it was because he finally showed genuine feelings in his eyes. Liu Ryan felt that he was serious this time. She excitedly returned to the old house, told her grandmother that she had found a boy she liked. She even sent a message to Gu Wuyan, saying she wanted to bring him home. But the next day, she found out that Gu Wuyan had booked a carefree departure, without a trace of hesitation or doubt. He panicked and found Liu Aiken, asking if he had planned all this from the start. Then went to find Makoto Ito, sternly telling him to stay away. But the frustration in his heart couldn't be suppressed. What if Gu Wuyan like him? What then? When Liu Ryan was feeling down, he received a call from his grandmother. Grandma said Gu Wuyan's family has no money. Isn't our family wealthy? A 30-year-old person, finally moved by emotions. Why not hurry and pursue? She booked the nearest flight to Switzerland. Sitting on the plane, Liu Ryan made a firm decision. This time, no matter what, she would express her feelings clearly.